Okay, we're
Big
live
film
on YouTube.
clicking the
Let me see you on social media live.
Yeah, in about 2 minutes. We call this a double header. I meant to call it, the name of that episode was Ladies First.
That's what we put on the.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I said right here. So the name of this show, this show
missing
is
on that. Is the time.
The time. What do you mean?
No, on the promo.
Yeah.
We have a day or a time on the promo. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It is, but it's real small. The day and the day is on there real small.
You talking about when we start? Okay, yeah.
We need that on there, and it'll be.
No, you're good. You sit
down.
Perfect.
Hey, it just was missing the time.
You know what we can start doing? We can just start creating events for our lives when we go live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That way, like a week ahead of time when we have it.
Yeah.
Put the
Troy.
events in
Yep. Once a Trojan, always a Trojan.
I'm glad, man. You made me proud, boy. You work hard, man. Hey, hold on. I don't like this setup. Hold on.
What you don't like?
I'm trying to think if I should come. No, sorry, I'm just trying to figure something out. You see how did we do it back in the day when it was just the lower bottom?
What do you mean? Give me the line.
this just came down lower, didn't it? Let me try something real quick. What time is it?
You got the 7 o'clock on the dot.
Go time.
Okay.
Well, ushers out there cruising the streets.
Yeah.
In the drop top.
In the drop. On the dot.
7 o'clock on the dot.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. All right, first of all, let's do a quick testing. Okay, there we go. All right, welcome to the Roots and Routes podcast, where we talk sports, athlete origins, and player arcs, where community and socioeconomics is the root to our success. I always wish our hometown heroes had the technology in their time to document their journeys, so we'll do it for the rest of them. And we are live on location at the legendary 14th Street Community Center. First of all, let's put them together. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe. We're on all the digital platforms. Make sure you follow us. In the building, we got Jalen, we got my man Drew Carter, we got Joe Green, we got Romy, we got Mr. KD. And here at the table with me, we got a special guest. Before we get to him, to my left, his friend, also Coach Jalen Kennedy. Put them together. Yeah. To the right of our guest, we have Jalen Jones. Put them together. And our guest for the evening. This is season 1, episode 5. Episode is called Once a Trojan, Always a Trojan. We'll get into that. To the right of me, my guest, Mr. Dariyonne Bryant. Put them together. Wide receiver for Troy University. Appreciate it. So at the Roots and Routes podcast, the very first question I asked all the guests is, if you had 12-year-old Dariyonne Bryant in front of you right now, what advice would you give your 12-year-old self?
I probably just tell myself to keep going. This thing is gonna get hard. You're gonna have a lot of distractions on your journey. Keep pushing.
Love it. Yeah. It's easy to get distracted. So I think that actually segues perfectly to my next question. Right now, you ended up deciding to go to Troy University in Alabama. Why did you choose to go so far away from home when you could have possibly went here, you could have went there? But before we get there, let's talk about the journey. The journey, when you graduated from high school, you originally went to Charleston. Let's talk about that. What was the decision-making process in getting to what's it called? University of Charleston in West Virginia.
My recruiting process was slow. Like, I didn't get a lot of looks. Like, we took a lot of visits, camps, everything. There wasn't any luck. And I was stuck in between if I want to play basketball, play football. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but Charleston, they ended up coming to school one day. talked to him. He sold me a dream. 18-year-old kid, I took it.
Right.
But ended up working out. Like, I really learned how to grind at Charleston. Like, that's really where I put in the work. And after that, it's just, I thought I could be bigger than what it was. Decided to go JUCO.
Love it, love it. So we'll talk about that. We'll get there. I want to backtrack, and we'll start at the beginning, and we'll get to what made the grind the grind. So let's talk about your upbringing. What is your first sports memory? It could have been football. It could have been, you might have been playing hide and seek. You might have been, I'm not for sure. Like, what is your first sports memory when you remember, like, man, this is cool?
I say probably scoring my first touchdown in 3rd grade. Played on the 4th grade team. I really didn't get a whole lot of reps that year, but like we was beating East like 36-0. They throw me a sweep, score a touchdown. After that, it's just like I love football.
Right.
I scored a touchdown. You can't tell me that I love football.
You was a problem.
That's where it started.
Right.
Scoring that first touchdown.
So who did you play for? The Pee Wee Trojans?
Yeah.
Pee Wee Trojans. So you remember some of your coaches at that point in time? Just go ahead and, if you don't care to, kind of just mention some of your early coaches. In the process.
Bob Bowman, DJ Rowe, Mike Williams. They really coached us from Little League up till we got out of Little League.
So when you was a little inch high to a knee high or whatever, so it seems like you was very much an athlete, but what position did you play at a young age? Where they have you at?
I played running back.
Running back.
Yeah.
You started as a running back.
Running back and corner.
Yeah. A lot of times they put the best players at either quarterback or running back. So to be able to put you, in a position where you can excel, clearly, that's probably a good position to put you at.
Right.
So now the next part of the journey is when you get to junior high, and then of course when you get to high school. So do you remember how long was your running back? When did you switch positions?
My 7th grade year was my last year running back.
Mhm.
After that, coach was like, I think you're a receiver. You should probably go out wide.
Right.
So then that's when I made the transition. Played receiver ever since.
Well, don't forget you tried to play quarterback for a season.
Oh yeah? QB too?
I did.
QB1.
I was trying to get some reps.
Right.
Of course, JV reps.
Got you.
Yeah.
But it seems like you found your calling though, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely an elite. When I say elite, this man is elite receiver. So at you said 7th grade, that's when you switched over to
After 7th grade season.
Right.
Going to 8th grade.
Okay, gotcha. So now we're moving on up to the high school ranks.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you was getting your fair shot? Did you feel like, man, I still got more to show? How did your high school career kind of pan out in terms of what you foresaw and then what it ended up being?
I was hard-headed. That's real. I was really hard-headed.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had a lot of people try to like tell me I had the talent, the potential, but I just being a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Got you.
yeah.
Good answer.
That's understandable, man. Sometimes all of us learn at different rates. All of us learn differently. Some people can learn if you tell them once. So then some people can learn, are visual learners. But at the end of the day, you have grinded. You've gotten to the level that you're at now. So let's go from well, before we get there, let me go ahead and give a shout out. This dude is an immaculate athlete, not just football.
Basketball.
He was cold on the basketball court. He played baseball as well. Track. I mean, like, come on,
He
man.
didn't just run track. He still has the high jump.
That's what I'm saying. He's unbelievable. This dude is unbelievable. So let's pause there for a moment and stick in high school era. And well, I guess you can go back as far as you want to, but your basketball, I mean, your bunnies. To me, what also makes you elite is your motor. Like that's one thing that can't be coached in terms of get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. I'm coming at you. I'm relentless. So in terms of the basketball court, I think you scored 30 points against South Point at South Point. Am I remembering right? Is my memory serving me right? So just help us remember your journey on the basketball court as well.
First love. Spent a lot of time playing basketball. Like I was that kid that was by myself at the park, like really working on my craft, like staying out, working. You know, like 6'3" guards aren't common in today's world. You know,
ain't that crazy?
So, and I didn't spend enough time in the gym. You really got to be in the gym, like working on your craft every day.
Right.
But definitely. Still love basketball to this day. I still play basketball if they let me to this day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Love the game.
Yeah.
You say that's your first love.
First love.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
No, I was just gonna say some of the guys on the wall back here, they love basketball too.
And that's a fact.
Other sports,
So,
yeah,
was dominant.
As dominant as Mr. Al Oliver was on the football field, he was a hooper too.
Yeah.
Larry Heisel was a
Yeah, a lot of these cats, like Mr.
One of the
Heisel. All time, he was at one point. He was an all-time leading scorer in basketball.
First team All-American.
First team All-American with Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem.
That's the story my dad told me.
Well, one of the old heads told me that he used to. I think it was Larry Heisel used to have his championship ring somebody had a championship ring, and they used to be like, if you can beat me 1-on-1.
Yeah, he still does that.
You can have it. You know what I mean?
He still done that.
Right.
He does it with my son too. When y'all used to be in there playing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man.
He tried to let Leroy play.
It's such a common thing in Portsmouth, man. You know, when I was growing up, Portsmouth was great in football, you know. But as I kind of got older, I started to learn, oh no, Portsmouth is a basketball town.
Yeah.
Like me and one of my best friends, Malik, we joke all the time about hoop dreams. We just say hoop dreams, right? Because there's so many cats that we came up with that were great football players, but great basketball players, you know, that probably, just like Dariyonne said, being a 6'3" guard, like you probably, your future's a little bit more limited, you know, and those same cats, you transition and be a football player, now all of a sudden you're not the small guy anymore. So we just joke all the time about, you know, hoop dreams in Portsmouth, because everybody loves basketball so much, and some guys are that good in football too, and you just miss it because they would rather go hoop.
Well, even at 8, he was athletic at 8. He was very athletic. You could see what he was going to have. All it was going to be was to put the work in. He's been doing that. So you good. I want to see where this football can go. Because you know, in the junior college, you still got all your eligibility.
I don't know.
Not necessarily. That was a ruling they made just for that Diego Pavia kid. Because I'm 100% sure, because I was still working at Wesleyan at the time, and we were going through the ringer with our compliance lady, just trying to figure it out. Because when that happened, we was like, well, shoot, we about to just go get all JUCO kids because they'll all have 4 years. But about a week, 2 weeks after they made that ruling, they came out and clarified. It was like, no, hold up. This is only for Pavia because it was a special situation and blah, blah, blah. So it's possible to get that eligibility back, but really what's going to happen is you're just going to have to threaten that you're going to sue the NCAA, and they believe it, and then they'll be like, all right, we don't want to go through that.
Yeah, because two of Colorado's players got another year. But they had to go through.
Yeah.
What, you know what I mean? They did.
So let's go back to we're still in high school, and this man to my left was one of your coaches. So let me hear any recollection of coaching this young man and what you felt about him, whether it was early on or later on, and even in the recruiting process.
So, like with Dariyonne, I think I joined the staff when you were a sophomore, right? Yeah, so that was my first year coaching at Portsmouth. And I was with the running backs that year and then the receivers the next two, but I had him as a DB. And the athleticism was always there, but being a sophomore, a little bit younger kid, he was still kind of growing into it, had a little bit of the Bambi legs going on, but you could see it. It was there. You could see it, right? And then one thing I think honestly kind of hurt his development a little bit is he was a wide receiver on a team with Talon Parker. Right, so you got a Talon Parker on your team. You come around and you hand the ball off 30 times a game. That's a smart thing to do.
Smart thing,
right? But then his junior year, which was my second year when I moved to the receivers, we lost a lot on the offensive line, and we had to kind of adjust. So we started to spread out a little bit more, and everybody was packing the box. And I was like, hey, let's just put Dariyonne, let's get in trips, put Dariyonne over there by himself, and if they pack the box, we'll pull it and throw it to them. If they play off, we'll throw him a hitch, let him break a tackle and go score. And if they're dumb enough to press him, he's going to run by him. Drew's going to throw it over his head, right? And there was a point about 4 weeks into his junior season where we're like, yo, you're going to break the touchdown record this year. Like, we were having those talks actively in practice because he was that close.
My cousin, he texted me, he's like, cuz I got the ball for you if you break my record.
So,
who's your cousin?
Reese.
Mo Clark. Shout out to Mo Clark. Yes, of course, he had hands for days too.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things. Like, I mean, kind of like everyone said, you could see it. It was there. But because of the way we were playing offense, and he kind of him knowing that as well, right? Because he was always kind of the more athletic guy in his age group. So him knowing that, I think, is kind of where the hard-headedness came from. Because he's like, I know I'm the man. Why won't we throw me the ball? And there was even a moment where he had left Portsmouth briefly, and me and him had conversations about it. He came back after about 2 months at Notre Dame, and went on to have a great senior year. But I think it was just one of those things of, him having to, and we had the same conversation today, actually. Guys will tell you, the people that you care about, your coaches and the people ahead of you, they'll tell you something till you're blue in the face, right? But you never really get it until you get a chance to learn it for yourself. And sometimes, by the time you learn it for yourself, it's a little bit too late. But sometimes you're lucky enough that you figure it out with time left to go. And I think that's what happened with Dariyonne, was he kind of figured it out. He went through it. He was a knucklehead and fought everything tooth and nail. And eventually he was like, all right, maybe some of these people know what they're talking about. So let's try it out. And, it turned into some great things for my dog. So super excited for him, man.
Yes,
absolutely. Definitely proud of this young man. I see nothing but the sky's the limit for him. So we'll be cheering from afar. Definitely hoping you go further with the in your journey. So let's continue with the high school realm. Then we'll get to Charleston, and then we'll go to Highland, and then we'll go to Troy. So, who were your athletic inspirations growing up? Before, whether you got to high school or before you got to high school, and then also who were some of your inspirations off the field, off the court, off the arena of field of play that you were in eventually. So who was your athletic inspirations and also like your role models, so to speak?
I say Randy Moss and Garrett Wilson are two of my try to model everything they do.
Right.
I was just watching Garrett Wilson highlights an hour ago. I've watched it 1,000 times. But I really look up to them. Off the field though, I don't know. I'm really like a private, stay myself type of person. So
got you.
Off the field.
Understood. Hey, say less. So I think even when we reflect on things like that, sometimes we forget people that maybe paved the way, or maybe had a smaller or bigger impact in their life. But I think as you go on, I think we'll be able to reflect even more. So appreciate you being open with us about that. So as we go to Charleston, again, you had mentioned when you first started, you talked about the grind, and you learned a lot about work ethic there as well, correct? So now, what are some of the lessons at Charleston that you learned, either specifically or you can just mention just in general some of the lessons that you learned at Charleston.
Wait my turn was a big lesson. Like, I played my whole life. Like, I never rode the bench.
Yeah.
It's like I get to Charleston, they talk about a red shirt. I'm like, I'm about to sit the bench. Then they told me like I couldn't even stand on the sideline at home games.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy. So wait my turn was a big lesson. I got a lot of extra work in by myself. It's like staying down,
right?
Really putting the time in. That's where I really learned it.
Yeah,
Charleston.
I will say credit to Charleston that they ain't redshirt you for some bums. they had some pretty good receivers at the time, man.
Really good room. We had a really good room. I still think to this day that's probably the best room I played in so far.
If you don't care to, Jalen, Mr. Jones, I mean, kind of just give a little context to the audience, kind of your relationship, friendship with Dariyonne.
So, I'm from Columbus. I moved here sophomore year, right before COVID happened.
Right.
We clicked back up junior year, played football. We had a little COVID season, a short season. Clicked back up junior year and senior year. I say about senior year we start really kicking it off the field.
Right.
Junior year was more in the locker room friendship, but senior year off the field. So we got closer on and off the field. I mean, we did things after school, after class, after practice, whatever, after games even. So it was just like time going on. I seen how serious he was about this football thing, and I tell people left and right, like I talk to him every day, and I just know like there's been times in the earlier stages he talked about giving up many times, and I tell him like you can't do that, like you can't give up, like
That's right.
you made it too far to give up.
That's
and
right.
What you like you said earlier about how you far away from home, he also had thoughts like that coming back home, and it's just like what you chasing right now, honestly, nothing here is gonna give you what you're going for.
No.
It's going on. So I mean, we got a bond, he's like my brother. So I talk to him every day about his journey. And
That's what's up.
yeah.
Right.
I like
Clap it up. Clap it up.
So Cayenne said glad that Jalen is there as much as it hurts. Take us to the senior year. That word that we won't mention first time around. We hold them defensively 3
and out
that for
is
me?
what it's
I asked you to
called.
hit that for me, please. 3 and out. First play from scrimmage. Donovan Burns, old boy for a touchdown. Then I believe Jalen and Jay-Z lay a hit on their quarterback, and we're rolling. Then the tragedy, what was going through y'all's mind in those moments. Y'all remember that? Y'all recall that?
Keep it real. We made Drew roll.
Fact.
I would keep it all the way real.
Fact.
We would have had Drew. We would have like
A healthy Drew Rowe.
So remind us and remind the audience what happened with Drew Rowe at that point in time.
So he, took a hit and messed his knee up.
Quarterback.
Drew Rowe was playing quarterback, and that was actually. So that was the first year. I wasn't on the staff at that time.
Okay.
We went our separate ways, long story short. So I wasn't on the staff at that time, but I had moved to Hawaii and I was back in town. I came and watched the game. It was, man, it sucked because it was a dog fight, and I really thought that we had a chance at winning that game. And then when Drew went down, it stayed tight, but you could just see the change in the offense. You could see the team deflate a little bit just because, losing that mobility from him. He went out and played and finished the game as best he could, but being just a little bit, not right, and they couldn't get it done, man. That sucked. It sucked to see because I think that was going to be a win if Drew stayed healthy that night.
Got you. It's very important to be healthy when you get there, but
No doubt.
sometimes it's just fate is inevitable, but it's still a part of the process. You can grow from that. So let's go back. We've been to Charleston. Now we're going to Highland Junior College.
Yep.
Correct? What's the actual correct name of the junior college you were at?
Highland Community College.
Highland Community College. So just to get a little context again, this young man right here, one publication I seen became the #1 JUCO receiver in the country. One publication, he became the #9 overall junior college player. So once again, shout out to Mr. Dariyonne Bryant. Making moves, and he's continuing to grind.
What state is Highland? What was that?
That's in Kansas, correct?
Small town, like the school's the only thing. We got one restaurant, one gas station,
Right.
15 minutes up the road, a Walmart. Like,
Was that the only JUCO in Kansas?
nah, it's
Nah,
like
okay.
a conference in Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
One of the better JUCO
It's
conferences,
the best.
actually.
I
So,
say,
yeah,
I say it's the best. They made a
yes.
Netflix series over it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that Last Chance U was at
I
one.
worked with a guy, Steve Bell. He said his son went to JUCO in Kansas, so I didn't know.
Okay, yeah.
There's a few of them out there.
Yeah, if he went to JUCO in Kansas, he was pretty legit. He had a shot at least.
So you got to focus on nothing but ball.
Nothing but ball. That's all it was.
Yeah.
right.
No distractions.
So how was your growth in that?
Like I said, I'm a stay to myself type of person. So I really grew a lot because it's ball, and then
Yeah.
I go home, I'm on the game, FaceTime with somebody back home. It's just like I heard a lot of complaining.
Right.
So like all that complaining I did, that helped me
Yeah.
like lock in mentally.
Yeah. You got to mature. That's self time. You get to mature in those stages. That's big. Yes, sir.
And I think, not to, do your job for you, but I think one thing that's kind of important, we talk about Portsmouth and Charleston and Highland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of that's important, but I think what a lot of people miss, right, is you never get to any of those places without the in-between.
That's right.
And that's what
right.
most people have not seen from Dariyonne, right? Since I coached him, like once I left the staff, I went to Hawaii. When I came back, every time Dariyonne has been in town since I've been back, we've been on the field working out probably 60 to 70% of the days that he's here, right? I'm in the process of starting a food service business. Dariyonne hit me up a week or so ago, said, hey, I'll be home next week. I said, all right, I'm not cooking, I'm chilling, we'll go work out whenever you need to, you know what I'm saying? And he's hit me up every day this week, and gone out on the field. They're on spring break. Most of his team is at the beach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's hitting me up to go work out. So what a lot of people miss is that in between, right? Everyone sees the Charleston and the Highland. But a lot of people miss the, hey, what are you doing when you're not there? Because that's what separates people, and that's what gets people that have the talent, that you can see the talent. You can always see the talent in Dariyonne, but once he adopted that work is when he really turned into something different. And I think he deserves credit for that, and that's what people miss, and it needs to be. I think that needs to be spoken.
Well, let's
follow
follow up.
That's what he was talking about too. So, also adding into what I was saying, before we even became friends, we were just teammates. I knew he was serious about this. It was a moment. I don't know if you remember it for real. You walked out. You walked out on us. Boom, you had to come back, write a speech. And when you did the speech in front of the whole team, I personally knew I couldn't do that. I ain't do that. Then following the speech, what coach had you run gassers for the rest of the week?
I ran gassers and I played scout team running back.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm getting smashed in practice.
Something that, especially at high school, you asked me to do that, I'd rather just go home and play my game for the rest of the year. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, because it was just like, that's crazy. Like he ran gassers probably for the whole week.
I think I ran.
He didn't play his position. I would have gave up.
I think Monday he told me I had to run like 1:15 just to dress on Friday.
So I think that does bear witness to all the audience, the listeners. The most important talent that anyone can possess is your work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
The getting up and grinding, the getting up and going. What's the old saying? Talent.
Hard work beats talent.
When talent doesn't work hard. So that goes a long way. Right.
That's a great point.
And on top of that, you have a life outside of this football thing. Trying to balance it.
Sure. So what is that like? Trying to balance your life outside of sports and on the field, at the athletic field?
I really got to see the bigger picture a lot of the time. Like, I want to do something. I got to think about how it's going to turn out for me in the future.
Right. So we're bringing attention to a question that Miss Belinda Green has brought up. She has a question. She says, just share some insight, give some advice with some of the upcoming graduates. So you got kids that's about to graduate here, assuming May or June, who will be going off to college, as to how you cope with that transition. So the transition of being away from home, and like you said earlier, how you learned to stay focused and how you did stay focused, etc.
Like I just said, it's the bigger picture. Like, see what you want to get out of it, who you're doing it for. Like, when I want to quit, I think about my mom, I think about my siblings, I think about like everything I ever been through in life. It just telling me like, don't quit. And then like, to being away from home, you gotta meet people. You can't just be closed off. You're gonna hate it. You gotta try to at least make friends. Like, I'm not saying like have a bunch of people around you, but at least two, 3 people. You know, you can be around.
You keep your circle small and still grind, still do everything that you need to do. And I think that's part of the process as well. So again, we're at Highland Community College, and then at one point in time, I think he was leading I'm not for sure how it ended. At one point in time, he was leading the country in receiving yards. He was averaging like 20.9 yards per catch, 6-7 touchdowns. He was killing it. Right.
Golden bombs and whales.
Going. I seen the highlights. I'm like, wow, this dude's immaculate. So he
had a lot
came.
of offers too.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
Name some of the schools you had offers from.
Well, I think the schools I didn't get offers from that wanted to offer me were way better than the 25 offers I had. Like, I had like Ole Miss, Florida State, Florida, Arkansas, Colorado, like people calling every day. But the offers I did have was like Charlotte, Ohio University, Toledo, Washington State, UTSA, Temple, Coastal Carolina, Troy, Old Dominion. I had so many offers. I can't even.
What made you pick Troy?
Coach Banks. Coach Banks a real stand-up, and like Coach Banks' journey, he played pro baseball at high school, and then he's from Alabama, played pro baseball at high school, came back to Troy, walked on at 25, ended up going to the league, and been coaching there ever since, for real. Like, all the players that have played for Coach Banks is doing it at a big level right now. So we sat down with Coach Banks on that visit. It's like, this is where I want to be.
Coach Banks is a good dude, man.
You went to the visit?
Yeah, I went down with him when he went to Troy, and sat with the staff, talked to him, really let him handle it all, and just kind of wanted to be there for him. He had, his mom's at work and stuff, so he just, asked me to fly down with him. So I went ahead and went, and it was a good visit, and I think he made the right choice, at least from what I saw. I think they're running a good program. I think they're gonna take care of him.
Okay, I ain't gonna let him off the hook.
Yeah, back to Highland.
No,
okay.
Not just that. Now he said what made him pick Troy. He picked University of Texas El Paso. Yeah. I seen the uniform, the orange or whatever them colors were. So he went to in less than 24 hours now. Now I told him I was going to ask this question. I want him to give a little insight of what happened in 24-hour time span. He had the whole get up. So what happened? How'd you go from UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, to Troy in 24 hours or however long it was?
I'm keeping it all the way real. They probably, they heard it every day. I'm tired of getting offers. I'm tired of people calling me every day, waking me up. Like, I'm trying to go to class, people calling me. Like, I'm just ready to get over with. So when I got to UTEP, they took care of my mom, like, big time. Like, she forgot her bag. She was late flight, everything. They took care of her. They made sure she was good. So then it was my birthday weekend. I said I wanted to commit on my birthday. Like, either my birthday or my mom's birthday. Her birthday passed, so ended up going to UTEP, and I skipped the game for it, like the UTEP visit. So like, I was like, I'm about to make this worth it. And also in like the way that recruiting works, you commit to a school, you don't sign papers. The other schools, they're gonna get to call you. Like,
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking the bigger picture. I commit to UTEP. I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? If anything, I just decommit. Then, like, I took that Troy visit, and I prayed about it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was calling like my mom. I was calling everybody. Like, I don't know. I was at his house. Like, I don't know what to do. I prayed about it. Not even 5-10 minutes later, you could ask him. UTEP called me back to like, we can't honor your scholarship. You took a visit behind our back.
Oh.
Like, cool.
That made it easier.
Cool.
Yep.
Got you. Wow.
So that's how that's how the UTEP thing worked out.
Good insight.
So that was hard. For those that didn't see the video, I'm pretty sure it's on Facebook, probably Instagram. The way they announced you coming to Troy, it was almost like a NFL draft.
Yeah.
And at the blah blah blah, the Trojan select.
So that video, it was Coach Banks that did the video, right? Yeah, so that coach that announced him is the coach you was talking about.
Got you.
Yeah, that really sick. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and Coach Parker, man, he got a resume now.
Yeah, receivers guy too. Was at Notre Dame, Duke,
Penn State.
Coaching me up every day in practice. Any coach on that staff really I could call it like that. Like UTEP, I talked to all offensive staff. Staff even got fired like when I committed and stuff. That Troy staff, I can call right now. They'll answer. Good.
That's
everything.
Yes, sir.
That's good, man.
That's what you want.
Sound like it's a good fit to start off, man. I'm glad that you've transitioned to a place that seems like it's going to try to take care of you. Stay the course. So what type of goals do you have for yourself for Troy, at Troy, while you're there? So what do you qualify as right now? You a junior? Junior. So he's a junior right now at Troy. 21? How old are you right now?
I'm 21.
21 years old, junior at Troy. What are some of your goals?
Same goals as JUCO. I want to be All-American again. And this year really I feel like this year is like I don't want to say transition year because they see me as like a impact guy. They want me to come in and impact, but I want to ease my way into it, like start off small, like nobody knows who I am. I want to just pop out one day, everybody know. But eventually be an All-American again, NFL draft pick from Troy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You gonna do it?
Yeah. I was just talking with my friend Joe Green. I think it was either today or yesterday. I mean, sky's the limit for you, man. I wouldn't put it past that. I really believe you can get there, but I think the journey is always interesting to observe. So,
one of the things he said, like hearing it till I turn blue, like everybody tells me I can go to the NFL. Like in JUCO, my coach Sunday guy, you just got to lock in. University.
That's all it is.
Power of the tongue, bro.
The great advice of Danny Reed: if somebody keeps telling you something, 2 or 3 people, you might want to take it.
That was the goal.
As a matter of fact, we were sitting outside before we came in, and some of the parents of the girls were sitting in the library, and one of them said to Dariyonne something along the lines of, I think you can make it. I think you got a good chance, and or I hope you make it, or something. And yeah, I was proud to hear his answer because, like you said, you got to speak it into existence.
Yes,
His answer was, "I will."
Yes, sir.
I will.
Absolutely. Power of the tongue, man.
Yep. Hey, but the biggest thing is, again, like I said earlier, that in between is trusting the work, man. He works for it, and he knows that, and he's learned to trust the work more than anything.
Do we have a problem with putting some of the workouts on tape? We can follow up
We can do that. Yeah.
and post some of the
we definitely do
workouts.
that.
Definitely will.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Y'all work them out, and then we'll
We
come
want to
and
continue to follow his journey.
yes, we're gonna
Yeah,
follow
we
you
think
all the way through your
absolutely.
journey, right?
You might have
Your mom's oldest kid, right? Yeah, so you got a lot of responsibility.
Yes, sir.
You've always been a good young man.
Yes,
I always
sir.
I see you around. We family, whatever, and I just always respected you, man.
I try to be.
You was a good role model for your younger siblings, and that says like my mom's the oldest. You know what I'm saying? So I seen a lot of similarities growing. Just watching, because sometimes you don't realize people watching you from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I really had to just learn that, like, there's a lot of people watching me. You watch me, but it's
Your mom be proud. You hear me? Your mom be proud, man. That's what's up, man.
Shout out to Sharia.
Yes,
I've been telling my mom since a kid, like my mom used to always tell me, you need to get a job. Mom, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. I know, but you still need to work.
At least for now.
So let's keep it moving. Shout out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We got a call to action. You need to go ahead and follow us on every digital platform. You can find our link tree in our bio of our Facebook page. Make sure you do that. If you've been watching this whole time and you ain't followed yet, we got a problem. Yeah. Keep going. So,
don't get mad, Joe.
What aspects of your game right now are you working to improve? Where do you feel like you are as a receiver in terms of whether it be route running, strength and conditioning, your strength and conditioning, etc.?
I just told him, I just sent him a list of things, like, I sent him a list of things the other day that I need to work on, like, so the transition from JUCO to Troy, like, JUCO DBs, they're good, but, like, I can just beat them with speed every time, just run past them. Now, at this level, it's more technical, like, footwork, hands, you gotta, if you try to do something you would do in high school,
right?
You can get jammed up.
Yes, sir, real quick.
They're gonna make an example of it.
Yeah.
And I just, like, getting stronger, that's a big part of my game. If that's gonna come, it's not something like, it's gonna happen overnight. You gotta really work on that.
My question is this, are you taking good care of your body when you get off the field after these workouts?
I can be better about it.
Because that's what's gonna carry you.
That's
If you wanna make it into the league, you gotta take care of your body.
And I just told myself that too when I get back, like, spend more time in the hot tub, cold tub.
As much as you might not, it's one of the most important things you can do. As much as putting that work in, that recovery is very important.
Right.
Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep and you're eating right.
I need you to get cool with y'all's head trainer too, so I got somebody to golf with when I come
back. Like my first 2 weeks at Troy, the head strength coach, he texted me, he said, keep grinding, you're on your way to being a dude. And I had to ask around, like, did he text you all this?
Right.
I just got there. Like,
right.
Everybody like, nah, that's just you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you feel like the biggest difference is between junior college and even early on in the process of Division I football?
I said the biggest difference for me, like the way that I'm connected to my team now. Like, I went through 2 years of junior college and I didn't talk to some of the kids on my team, but everybody on my team now, they know me by name. Like, all the equipment staff, the GAs, like the people who don't even need to be there, they're not getting paid to be there. They know my name. Like, before practice, let's have a day there. I'm like,
that goes a long way.
Yeah, so like the brotherhood. Brotherhood is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'd say another thing too that you just kind of miss is resources. You know what I'm saying? Like the ability to be in the training room whenever you want, as compared to JUCO, right? And some of that, just some of the stuff that you have.
I'm not gonna lie now. At JUCO, they did treat me like royalty. But now everything's so much better. Like,
yes, sir.
Training room.
What about food? I hear athletes sometimes say, back in the day, they used to complain about not having food. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in JUCO, we struggle with eating, but like now we got a card, you get it, swipe, goes to the cash, swipe in.
Anytime you want.
Anytime you want. Like,
That's
I'm on a full ride, so I got like 350 points. Still haven't used half my points. Go in, swipe, get what you want. Man. Ice cream, pizza.
See, you ain't taking care of your body. He burns it off though. You burn the calories off though.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. I originally was trying to schedule this interview. I think it was like April I don't remember the exact date. Was that spring game or close?
The 12th. That was on the spring game. That's the day of the spring game.
I think I was trying to schedule this interview originally for around that time, but of course things worked out differently, so we was able to get you in here. So again, I appreciate you coming in here and gracing.
Spring game date?
So what is the spring game?
April 12th.
Yeah.
April 12th.
T-Day, April 12th.
So everybody online, they can try to
and
watch
if
the
anybody
spring
wants
game.
to,
Yeah,
and
we
if
can-
anybody want to take a road trip down to Alabama, I'm
Let's
going.
make it
So
happen. Let's make it happen.
holler at me.
Let's make it
I
happen.
gotta work that.
Yeah, for real, hit me up, bro. I'm
Yeah.
During the
for real.
season, I'm there. I'm coming down.
You'll see
Stop by
me
the house.
hauling in the RV because I don't go nowhere without making money.
I heard
I'll
that.
be on my
Yeah.
way.
Now, I know this is hard to think about while you're in the grind, but what aspirations, first of all, before I get there, what are you majoring in?
I don't know for real.
Honestly,
I don't know.
Still undecided.
I'm like, I got the easiest major.
Man, you better figure something out.
School suite for me.
If you say what?
School suite for me. I got like the lowest major, but I'm working on it. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, but I just didn't want to take astronomy class, so they just threw me in a major on some quick stuff.
Oh, Lord. We're gonna talk after this.
We're gonna get it together.
So again, that kind of leads to the question I was about to ask. And I know it's hard to think about while you're in the grind, but what aspirations do you have outside of and beyond football that you are even at least subliminally thinking about, maybe subconsciously, I should say?
I want to make money in my sleep. I'm trying to have businesses flowing. And then, I feel like if I do get to the NFL, I have the money to be able to come back here, put my money into businesses and just have stuff. I want to just have money flowing.
Definitely good to have
No doubt.
what they call a passive income.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jalen Kennedy, do you have any advice that you can give Mr. Dariyonne, or just in general to young athletes, whether they be in high school age or collegiate age? Just give us a quick nugget that you could think of off the top of your head.
So I'm gonna give you three. One of them, he said, it's the same thing he would say to his 12-year-old self: stay the course, stay the course, right? Just keep going, do not quit. The other one would be where your feet are, right? Don't worry about everything else that's going on. Worry about where you're at in the moment and handling what you got to handle. Always be where your feet are, right? And then the last one is, whenever you think you're working hard, work hard, right? Because we all have this concept of hard work, but everybody's concept of hard work is a little bit different. And everyone looks at, whether it be professional athletes or CEOs, right? Everyone looks at those people in some sort of mysticism of man, it's impossible to get there. It's 1% of people or less that get there. It's impossible to do. But you know why they did it? Because their concept of hard work was this much further along than your concept of hard work. So just whenever you think you're working hard, work harder.
Especially from being from here, if you're working, for all the kids that is actually gonna listen, you got nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Nothing to lose. Yeah, nothing to lose from here.
Great point.
Like that. Great point. Say it one more time.
Say that again. I was gonna say the same thing.
I like it.
I got a question. Some of your former players that work for the Trojans, you know what I mean? You playing at the elite level and stuff now. You think some of those kids could have made it?
If Drew Rowe was 6 foot, Drew Rowe would be my starting quarterback right now.
I've heard Vinny says 6 foot.
If Donnie, I feel like a lot of my teammates, but Drew Rowe and Donnie, the boys would have took it serious.
Yeah.
They'd be elite. Seeing people like I said, there's way more than just them, but those two could have been elite at the level I'm playing at today.
Obviously, not your class talent. Obviously, was a Power 5 talent, legitimately. And there was definitely, there were definitely a few other guys around there, on some of those teams. Yeah, Jalen, if he, we didn't get Jalen until halfway through high school, and took him a little while to figure it out, but he definitely had enough talent to play some college ball. And then I thought our receiver DB room, it was full of guys like you said, Amari probably could have been a D3, D2 guy that could have been really good. So there's a lot of the talent from here that has what it takes to play at the next level. I think the big thing is we got to get over the stigma of Power 5 or nothing, right? We talked to Deja earlier, and you threw out those scholarship numbers and everything, right? Deja's playing NAIA basketball, but Deja is continuing to play basketball in college. Deja is getting an education for free, right? So we got to get over that stigma of if it ain't Power 5, it don't count, right? If some D2 comes calling and says, hey, you ain't got to pay a dime to go to school, you know, Charleston comes calling and says, hey, you're pretty good at football and you broke the high jump record, so come play football, go to school for free.
So what's keeping our kids from, because, you know, even my generation, a lot of talented people, some out there could have went pro. What you think are keeping those people from?
I think it's really a multifaceted problem. But I think the number one that can help is us getting out of our own way, right? Everyone talks about, and especially like older generations, and it was a little more true then of, well, no one put me out there, no one helped me go get recruited, right? That may be the truth, and that sucks, right? If a coach isn't doing that part of their job, then they're not doing their job. But at the end of the day, you gotta be a man. You gotta stand on your own too, right? So right now, every kid in America has Huddle, right? Go put together a highlight film. Go to the websites of the schools. Be realistic with yourself, and go to websites of schools that you think you can play at. Find their coach's email address. Email them. Let them know who you are and send your film, right? And there's gonna be plenty of them that don't respond, right? But there's gonna be some of them that do. And the ones that do, all you need is that one, right? So the ones that do are going to be the ones that you should continue to pursue, because those are the ones that actually are interested in recruiting you, right? And the sooner we adopt that and start to kind of attempt to control our own fate, the more often we're going to see people from our community continuing their athletic careers.
What we plan on doing is covering all that, so they ain't gonna have to. Now,
right.
That's what we put this together.
Yeah, and I think that's beautiful, man. Yeah. But I think like the number one thing, if you want to like for high school athletes right now, if you want to get yourself recruited, this is what I would tell you to do. Get on whatever your film service you got set up for your high school team is. Put together your highlight tape. Put together a list of about 10 schools that you think you're interested in that are realistic. Go to their website, and I promise you, unless it's a Power 5, and even if it is a Power 5, they'll still have it. There will be a questionnaire on that website, right? Fill out that questionnaire. That will give them your name, your info, like your contact info and all of that, and it'll put you in their database. So now that you're in their database, when their coaches go through and they're evaluating film to recruit, now your name is on that list, right? Yes, and if they think that you match, they're going to call you. Yes, I promise. Right. Yes, so put together that list, go fill out that questionnaire, and then hit Twitter or whatever and send it to, put together a list and send it out to all the coaches you can find. Yep. Coaches get on and tweet, I'm looking for recruits in this class. Go tweet and reply to that. That coach probably won't even see your tweet, but there's going to be however many other coaches that see him tweet that and just open the tweet and go scroll because they ain't got nothing else to do and say, you know what, let's go see if any of these kids are good, right? And I can tell you that and tell you that that's the truth because I did it, right? I just spent the last 2 years coaching college ball, and I did exactly that. That wasn't the only way I recruited, but I have done that in the past. So it will happen, right? So the more you're going and putting yourself out there to be seen, the more you're going to be seen. But if you just sitting back relying on someone else to do it for you, it ain't gonna happen that way.
That sounds like a business location, like start,
It's already big business. It already is.
It is. Right. That's good info right there.
It is good info.
Good info. Question. I said another thing is like these kids, they gotta cut the outside noise. It's a lot of negativity. Like when we was in high school, people like you say you want to go D1, they're gonna try to clown you. Look at you like you crazy.
That's because they're intimidated by yours.
Let me add to that though. As much when you say the outside noise, it's all the outside noise. Yeah. Because as much as you got to cut out the negativity, you can't let the positivity bring your head too high up, right? Because that positivity will tell you, "Oh, I'm the shit." I'm sorry. I'm the man, I ain't got to worry about nothing, right? So I'm just going to do what I'm doing, and then you're going to get yourself benched on your high school team. You don't stand a chance of being recruited because your attitude is jacked up because you're listening to everybody else telling you that your mess don't stink. So you got to cut out all the outside noise and trust the work.
I'm proud of my little cousin that's coaching too.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach K.
That's true.
The OG guy.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's crazy.
We just tease me because that's our little brother.
Yeah, we're called the Roots and Routes Podcast. So essentially, the name we came up with it starts with the root. You know, the fruit comes from the root. So a lot of the things that you possess within yourself is also a part of who you become. So sometimes we have some good parents, we have some bad parents. Sometimes we have some good friends, we have some bad friends. Sometimes the company we keep is not the best. Sometimes it, depends on how we handle our environment and then ultimately the route. So we're looking at a route. We're also looking at the direction or the pathway to success. So he talked about sometimes the positivity being too loud as well. So what does it feel like to be on that pedestal of, like I mentioned earlier, in one publication, you was ranked as the #1 receiver and JUCO receiver in the country, #9 JUCO athlete overall. So how do you balance that to where you're able to stay focused?
Get too high.
My first year in JUCO, like when I really started working a lot, I had one of these receivers, like a receiver on my team, Frank, like we were really close. He used to always tell me, never satisfied. Every time we see each other, never satisfied. Like, and that just stuck with me. So, like the highs, it felt good, but that's for JUCO. What about after JUCO?
Right.
I'm not gonna be the #1 receiver once I get the trophy anymore. It starts all over again. So, like, you just gotta stay hungry. You can't worry about that. And then a lot of people a lot of people gonna try to say you Hollywood. It's not. You gotta cut it. You just gotta keep looking forward.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So what's a typical training day look like for Dariyonne Bryant? So let's say it's a random Thursday.
Am I at school or at home?
Let's say at home.
All right. Typical Thursday. So I probably wake up around 8, 9. Try to eat something. Do what I gotta do. Handle what I gotta do. Text him. We go down.
Where y'all going? Where y'all going?
You do the training. You can tell.
Y'all train
Well, it depends on what field we can get on. Okay. Usually we'll get down to Shawnee, but if they got practice, we'll pop wherever we gotta go. Times we've been over on the west side. Times we've been at the track. When we're able to get a hold of Bruce or AB, we'll get on the field. We've been up to Notre Dame with all those potholes. But it'll hit me and we'll go hit the field. I'll usually try to focus on like one part of route running for the day, right? So it'll be a release day, or maybe it'll be a top of the route day, or some days it'll just be a stem day, right? I know all that sound, no one knows what I'm talking about. But just, different focus for whatever that may be. And I'll put together whatever drills we're doing. We'll go hit that field for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and get some good work in. And all of it is, it's all I try to make it realistic, right? You see everybody doing all sorts of crazy drills and stuff on Instagram, and all that's good. It helps in whatever way it helps, but just coming from a coaching background, I try to make everything as close to game reps as possible. So we'll go out and whatever it is for the day, and just kind of build on what we've done in past days, finding a way to take something we did in a past day to win outside on a route, to be able to do the same thing, but make yourself win inside on that same route. And just kind of building on what we've done.
Like this week, Coach Banks, he told me last week in the meeting, he's like, Dariyonne, when you go home, I want you to find the field. I want you to work inside leverage, because when I play, I like to win outside. I like to beat the man outside. Once he opens his hips, I like to break back inside. So he work on attacking him inside, so you can just break off. You ain't got to worry about him opening his hips. I take him like inside leverage. That's been a big emphasis since I've been home, like at the field.
Wait till you see it work the first time.
Oh, yeah.
When you get on the field and it happens, that's going to create that drive to train even more.
Right.
When you see the results.
I think those are always my favorite moments, honestly. Like when we'll work something and then he'll go back to school.
Yeah.
And then, 3 days later, he'll send me a practice clip.
I show a clip.
And I always tell him, like, yeah, see, remember working this? Like, this is exactly what we did. And it's just like, yep.
Like, this is a big thing. We attacking them inside, winning outside.
Bring it close to the thing so we can see it on there.
All right.
All right. He can't hear you.
Gerald.
Squeeze Gerald. Oh. Sorry.
Get him back
Let
up.
me see if we can.
Yeah, there we go.
I can see it.
Beat him
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
She can play one more time. Just stack, beat him inside, make him go inside.
Freezing.
Free
Oh,
throw.
he almost fell.
Yep.
Yeah, you made that look real easy.
Get it.
No bad steps either.
Mm-hmm.
Footwork was nice.
So like stuff like that.
He didn't even get a hand on you.
Little stuff like that, like trail.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, Jalen, talk to the camera.
Man, put me on the spot.
We have a technical difficulty.
You know what? While they figure out the technical difficulties, I'ma just plug real quick. Got a new business coming to y'all, food service, right? So I'm gonna move down to 2nd Street starting next month. So if you're coming to buy, I'll be on 2nd Street. I'm also gonna start offering catering opportunities. So if you need an event catered or anything like that, get a hold of me. Follow my business page on Facebook, Sensei Cooks, right? Sensei Cooks, and I'll be sharing. Make sure y'all come eat with Coach.
Sounds good. Love it.
Advice to younger athletes.
So do me a favor. I know you mentioned what you would give to your 12-year-old self, but like you mentioned already, you got younger brothers and people that look up to you. So you give us another level of advice that you would give to young athletes as they're coming up.
I tell my brothers all the time, this stuff's not like everything that they're doing now, like having fun, running around, it's not going nowhere. You gotta set yourself up for the next 40. I tell my brothers that all the time. Just work hard, cut the noise like I've been telling y'all. Same stuff I tell them every day.
Got you.
They both wanting to play football.
I don't know what they want to do, but
They're not sure
I try to put it on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, well, right now you got to work on you, but at some point,
Right.
they got to come with you
Right.
to work out.
Oh, they do.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
them reps in. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
JJ and Tyshawn out there every
Get
now
them
and
reps
then.
in. They'll fall in love with it, putting the work in. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
You learn how to train before you learn how to play.
Right.
Will make you even better.
Yep.
Most kids do it the opposite. They start playing first. But if you training first, you already the skill set, the confidence, you take off.
Right.
Especially at those when they little. No, you're not gonna be the kid that's training. And you don't train,
Right.
he's gonna smack you every time.
Right.
Every time. Every time.
So, hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. This has been a great conversation.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it. I love
Clap
it.
it up
This
for
is-
Proud of you, man. Proud of you.
Be more proud. So do me a favor, give a one or two, how many of you feel like shout outs to people that you want to just show some love to, give some flowers to, show some appreciation to. It could be men in the room, it could be anybody. Just go ahead and give a shout out.
I'll
A
tell
couple
you,
shout
I'll tell you
outs.
2 people that's not with us. Shout out to Ryan Brown. Helped me with my strength. Helped me get right in the gym.
Yes, sir.
Really pushed me with that. And then Lynn Collins. That's been a big person in my journey. Like every time I need something, get my head back on straight, I'll call him.
Yes, sir.
Give me back. He help me shake back. So that's 2 people I want to shout out.
Shout out to Lenny Collins.
That's big.
Yep. Okay, with that being said, last time, like, share, follow us on all the digital platforms. We appreciate the love that y'all showing us. We're gonna keep growing, we're gonna keep growing bigger. The last thing that we want to do is a parting shot. We need Mr. Bryant, give us a suggestion of somebody that you feel like would be great to bring to the table of Roots and Routes, to be able to bring to the table, near or far, just to make sure we can have somebody we can interview. We may even have you do that homework for us, but we'll see. It depends on who you come up with. Somebody that you think would be a good interview to bring to the podcast.
Eli Johnson.
Eli Johnson. I like Eli. I like Eli.
Good energy.
Eli's a great young man.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So we'll talk to Eli. Talk to Eli. So I appreciate once again Jalen Jones, Jalen Kennedy, our guest for today, Dariyonne Bryant. Let's give it up one more time.
Man, we appreciate all of y'all joining us, man. We appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all for having us, man.
Yeah. We good?
We good. Appreciate it. Y'all.
Cool, man.
Hey,
Good job, man.
love it.
That was big.
Definitely.
Yeah, for real. It looked like quick.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, fast hour.
I'm thinking about doing a camp soon. Like,
Yeah,
I've been talking about it for some years now.
Yeah.
I want to come back and do a camp.
that's a good idea.
That's needed.
How do you get off Facebook?
Hit the X.
Oh, I got
Hit
you.
the X, it'll end it.
Oh,
I just knew where to start.
Thank
you. Yeah, that's my thing.
I learned something new too.